Are you ready?
A Shot of Wrestling, episode 291. And away we go.
Wait till get a shot, boy. Is that the message you got? We about to go live. Are you ready to rock? So take a shot. Oh, so take a shot. Oh, yeah. I'm a street breaker. I'm a heartbreaker. This is my dawn. I'm a mold raiser. Ric Flair, nature boy, about to seek and destroy. It's an SOW. Let me hear you make noise. Take a shot, boy. Is that the message you got? We about to go live. Are you ready to rock? So take a shot.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of A Shot of Wrestling. I'm your host at McAfee. I am back, joined as always, my faithful co-host, Marcus Schwann. Marcus, great job last week, man. I could not make it. I had an endoscopy, so it put me out of commission. I could not come here last week to do the show. Mark Schwann, you took the reins, and I say you knocked it out of the ballpark, buddy. Good job.
What? I don't know what you're talking about. I
can do the show last week?
I wasn't able to do the show last week. I texted
that's right. You weren't. You told me you would have. Oh, yeah, buddy, I got you. I got you. As a co-host, I will gladly step up and fulfill your obligation. You told me yes. Well, I was like, oh, sweet. Let me some Marcus Schwann co-host the show. Always a banger. Always a surprise guest when Mark Schwann hosts. And then all of a sudden, I go to tune into my iTunes Podbean library, and there's no episode 291.
I texted you to let you know, hey, man, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do the show today. I did let you know.
While I was knocked out? Maybe I didn't check my messages then.
Maybe. Oh, I do have a good reason. I do have a good reason why.
I feel like there's a big announcement coming.
I did sign an NDA for this, but since the show comes out late Sundays, early Mondays, I think I'd see it from me to say this. Your boy, Mark Schwann, was filming a Super Bowl commercial with Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, shit. Really?
For real.
That's cool. For what?
For Samsung. So it's going to be played actually right after the Super Bowl.
Okay, cool. Good job. Congratulations. That's fucking cool. You beat him?
Thank you. Yeah, met him, talked with him, had multiple conversations with him. Yeah, awesome guy. Like, mad cool.
And you couldn't, bring me on to set at all?
I signed, multiple NDAs. I couldn't.
You're so selfish, man.
I've been sitting on this for, a week or two now? Not allowed to talk about it.
I love Jimmy Fallon, so that's fucking cool, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Is it a speaking part, or it's just...
It's a commercial, so the way commercials work, especially in SAG, is, you're in it, you get paid very, very well for it, but if your face... Sometimes it's weird, because your face will be featured, heavily, and then you get paid extra money as far as residuals go. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you just don't make the cut, or it's your body being seen or whatever, and you miss out on the residuals. So fingers crossed.
Oh, you don't know yet.
That I made the actual cut. There's with the cameras on me. So.
Do you have any speaking lines, or is it just your background face?
No. It's commercials work different with that. You can be you're considered principal when you make the residuals.
This your first Super Bowl commercial?
Yeah.
No, it's not Jimmy Fallon's first.
No, it's not.
His last one, his guest was John Cena. So you're in good company. Play
it was pretty funny.
6 Degrees of Mark Schwann. I can connect Jimmy Fallon and John Cena now. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
there you go. It's funny. We're talking about the scene. We're talking about football in general. Oh
my man, that's so cool, man. That's awesome. That's awesome, man.
That's pretty good.
Thanks. Oh, congratulations, man. That's fucking cool. We'll give you a pass then, I guess, for dropping the ball on the show.
Nice. I was going to say, there's a reason why I couldn't do it. It was a long day of filming. So
when do I get tickets for the show? When you figure you're thinking me then, I couldn't come to the set. Maybe you hook me up some other way.
Tickets for those shows they're free.
Very hard to fucking get, though. They're only available for one day. I've been trying for the last 5 years.
Really?
Yeah.
I got tickets for Stephen Colbert pretty easy.
Exactly. What does that say about you? By the way, how was that?
That was awesome. That was a really cool experience. I'm a big Stephen Colbert fan.
Early January?
January, yeah. Actually, Martin Luther King Day.
That's cool. Yeah, I always try tickets for. I don't try every month because it's hard to get. But for Jimmy Fallon or Seth Meyers, I try to get these tickets, and they're very hard because they sell out right quick. So I got Seth Meyers like once a couple years ago. That was fun.
When I did it for Colbert, I thought it was going to be like a long process too. So I did it like a month ahead of time. My wife and I knew like we were both available that date, so we selected for to go for that day. So it was about a month beforehand. So maybe that's why. I don't know. I mean, NBC does it a month ahead of time too. So it is. Here we are in the beginning of February. So March tickets probably went on sale last week. Not on sale, but available. Yeah, it's like a lottery. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what lottery I always want to get? Saturday Night Live, man. Every year I send the email in. Never get picked.
Dude, I should probably send you, like, I'll get emails to do, like, background on Saturday Night Live. I've never done it. I should probably, like, forward that over to you.
Yeah, I'll do it. No problem. Let me know.
Get paid to do Saturday Night Live. I hear it's an amazing experience. You don't get paid that much.
Don't need to.
But, like, everyone I've ever talked to that ever did it, they just say it's an amazing experience.
Do I have to be SAG?
Oh,
it's not paying?
You do.
How do we get
Saturday Night Live is SAG.
How do I get in SAG?
How you get in SAG?
Yeah. Practice?
No, not even practice. Like, there are different ways to get into SAG.
All right, I'll talk about that off air.
We'll talk about it off air. I feel like it would take up too much time in here, Tully.
Please, people don't care about that.
No, they don't. Or maybe someone does. I don't know.
Do you think people care about the Olympics? You watching the Olympics this year? I think I asked you this last time.
I don't care about the Olympics at all. My wife does. I was talking to my mom today. Never have cared about the Olympics before. Like, I'll glance up every now and then. I'm like, oh, that was cool, but that's about it. I think the only thing I ever cared about Olympics-wise, and it's in the Summer Olympics, is soccer. Really? That's it. Yeah. What about you? You're big into it or no?
Big into the Olympics. Always loved it. Always grew up watching it every year, every incarnation of it. Love the Olympics. I'm more of a Winter Olympics guy.
Okay.
I grew up level watching the luge, the bobsledding, the skiing, skating is amazing. But this year, for some reason, I just can't get into it this year. I don't know if because it's fucking wrestling's on every night this time. I have no time to watch it.
That's true.
But yeah, this year I'm not really. There's no big storylines going into it this year. No big superstars except that Asian Mr. Chen figure skating who killed it. Yeah, this year I'm just kind of I'm sad because I usually love it, but this year I'm just very blah about it.
You know, you just kind of like segue into the wrestling here. You just reminded me of a conversation I had with somebody. I think it was Carson. Where I was bringing up your whole theory about like another promotion, like a third promotion coming about, right?
Fourth.
Or fourth. Yeah. I would say fourth because Impact is definitely doing well. But he brought up a good point, saying like, what time slot? What day would that be on even? Like, the wrestling's oversaturated right now. There's no room for another promotion. What do you think about that, buddy?
I agree. We had the same conversation a couple weeks ago when we talked about how you think Rampage needs to be an extra hour. I'm like, well, then they have to go against SmackDown. I said they go from 10 to 12. He said it's too late. They have to bleed into SmackDown. Again, because there's no other options, man. There's no other openings. Raw's 3 hours. Everything else is 8 to 10. It's like, unless you squeeze in like a 1 hour show from 10 to 11 one night, but
so with all this talent that's out there, then because there's more talent than like spots available on any TV program right now.
Yeah,
I think maybe then it's just a time for the indies to rise up, like GCW and Hog. New Texas Wrestling, like these bigger promotions, maybe even the smaller ones, to like rise up, come together, and get these talents, utilize them.
Also, I was a big fan of Conan O'Brien. Obviously he's one of my guys I look up to the most, and he left his long-running late-night show to start a variety show on HBO Max.
Okay,
nobody's really doing that on the streaming services, really, if you think about it. At least nobody in the mainstream anyway. And one of his thing is streaming is going to be where it's at in the future. Streaming is the place to be. I want to be in the forefront of it. Maybe a company signs to HBO Max. Maybe a company signs to Hulu and becomes the first streaming service of a professional.
Oh, that would be cool. That would be very cool.
That might make it easier. We can watch it anytime. Maybe you stream it live, but I can watch it on demand after. Maybe build up a couple weeks like we do with Peacemaker. watch like 4 episodes in a row. I'm sure that's an open market. Is untapped. Wrestling and the streaming services outside, of course, the network. It's wide open.
I feel like that would be an avenue that like Impact should explore, because they would definitely get like a bigger audience than what they have now if they went that route.
Yeah, I mean, they dipped their toes in it when they went to that mountain and fishing network for a while that no one cared about, no one had. They simulcast on Twitch, so I guess that was kind of dipping their toes in, but full-fledged streaming, I think that's the way to go next. So there's a company out there.
Yeah, if it's like Amazon, Netflix, or whatever, name a streaming service here.
Yeah.
Right? If they were to do that, someone's telling me like Pluto is playing TNA stuff.
Really? It's surprising because they have Impact has their own service. So surprising.
Like, that's what someone's telling me. Like I have Pluto. I've never really explored it.
I never heard of anybody having Pluto.
I do. I there was something I guess I wanted to watch on there, like a movie. I was like, all right, I'll just download this. I wasn't aware of that. Apparently, I was talking to someone yesterday that TNA is on there.
That's cool.
Not Impact necessarily, but like TNA.
That's cool. TNA is awesome, man. Check it out, man. Well worth it. Give you a reason to tune into Pluto.
Mark Schwann, now the official sponsor for Pluto.
Next year's Super Bowl commercial.
Yes.
Start
Hashtag that one.
Start manifesting it now.
I'll wear the merch. I don't give a fuck.
You don't give a fuck.
No, man. I have a baby coming on board, man. Buy me out. I'll sell out. I'll gladly sell out.
Mark Schwann, have you not learned anything in the wrestling world?
What's that?
You're not selling out. You're buying in.
Hell yes. I'll drink to that.
Cheers.
And heels.
Speaking of drinking to that, nice Stone Cold beer you got there, buddy.
Thank you, my man.
First time I've seen that on the show.
There's a recommendation from Cheyenne Ortiz. When he was a guest on the show here, he brought this up. I was, I have to try this. I was at the grocery store where I shop at, Stu Leonard's. Give a shout out to Stu Leonard's, small business in the Northeast area. They carry this. I was curious. It's pretty damn good. Gets the job done.
So I wanted to get it when it first came out, but of course it was only available in like 2 stores in California somewhere. So I've never been able to find it. I know a couple people who have, but it's been out of state. So now that it's here in New York, that's fucking cool. I'll keep an eye out. I'm not a big fan of that beer, especially that type. But I'll definitely give it a shot.
I'm not an IPA guy by any means.
Neither am I.
Not, because I hate when it's like too hoppy. You can call me like old school, but I usually go for like a Bud Light. I mean,
Bud Light, maybe that's where to go. Yeah,
that's where I go. Not Bud Lime, easy.
Bud Light, maybe that's my jam. That used to be my jam. Me and Matt Corona.
The Broken Skull IPA, it does have a little hop, but like it's not overbearing. It tastes good. 6% alcohol content. It's a pretty big can here. So one of these, I'm not a big drinker anymore, but one of these it does me in a little bit. This is going to be interesting.
Should be a fun show.
I'm drinking. Boom, 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 boom.
When Mark Schwann starts singing, he's feeling it. How about we see what's trending this week, Marcus? What's going on? What did the Twitterverse have to say this week?
All right. So it looks like Becky Lynch and Ric Flair got into it again on Twitter. So the man, Becky Lynch, at Becky Lynch WWE, quotes, "Work so hard, your heroes become your rivals. Then become so good, Ric Flair loses his mind every time you breathe." Becky Lynch, February 2022. All right, Becky. So apparently what she's referencing, thank you to Female Locker Room at Female L Room. She tweets, "The man, big time Becky Lynch still has Ric Flair upset." So she shares what Sportskeeda said with Ric Flair's statements here. "Once again, she's not Ronnie. She's Ronda Rousey. And anybody who's stupid enough to call her Ronnie and make a joke of her presence, what she brings to the company is out of their mind." AKA, what is her name now? Big time Bex. "Hey, Ronnie, welcome back." That's exciting. That's really exciting. How about thank you, Ronda, for showing up, because I'm not the man anymore. I'm generic. Who am I? Big time Bex? The last kicker? I don't know. That's a quote from Ric Flair. So, it got Twitter talking quite a bit here. Is Becky Lynch living in Ric Flair's? I mean, why does he keep on bringing her up, man? Like, should he just let this go?
I listened to the Ric Flair podcast, and I heard this Wednesday when it came out. This isn't the first time it happened, like you mentioned. Ric Flair's beef goes on not only with her, but the WWE in general for the whole man trademark. That's his trademark. He fought WWE trying to trademark it because that was his. I think legally he has to be the man. That's his trademark. And he's thinking it's the same thing. So he had this long-ass court battle with them, and he won.
Did he win, or did WWE just drop it?
I believe he won, but I could be mistaken. I don't know offhand, so I can't really speculate.
I could have sworn WWE just dropped it. Hence, I mean, Ric Flair didn't won in technicality here. Wow.
So when that came about, he was a little braggadocious on the show. Not so much him, but Mark Madden was. That's why Becky Lynch is not called the man anymore. That's where Big Time Bex came around. So I don't know if it's fine. I don't know if it's some sort of he felt disrespected by her taking his moniker or what. But yeah,
but didn't they talk about this beforehand? Didn't he like willingly like, yeah, you are the man? Like, wasn't that a thing?
Not that I'm aware of.
Like, Ric Flair was part of WWE when Becky Lynch was being called the man.
That's why
that's a fact.
That's why he might have let them get away with it. But now that he's not there anymore, that's his. He's going to use it. Pay up.
All right, fine. So it stopped.
So
right? Like Becky Lynch is not the man anymore. She's Big Time Bex.
Yeah,
move on.
I think he does his chip on the shoulder.
Or does this have to do with like Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair? Is he just like is he backing up his daughter?
Oh, he always backs up his daughter, but this is in the context of their conversation with this. She was not mentioned at all. I'm not a fan of the whole Ronnie thing either. By the way, I get it what he was saying when it came. Like, I get what he's saying with that, but it was kind of rude. I don't know.
Becky Lynch is the champ. Becky Lynch is big time Bex. She's also a heel. This is also a character to get people worked up. Ric Flair's being worked, bro. That's what I think. I think if Ronda Rousey really had a problem with it, Ronda Rousey would be speaking up. I don't think Ronda Rousey needs anyone fighting her battles for her, especially not Ric Flair.
I don't know about that.
You don't know about that. You don't think Ronda Rousey could fight her own battles?
No, she does. I don't think she was like okay with it. I don't think she'd be like, "Oh, do you mind if I call you Ronnie?" I don't think that's a topic of conversation. I don't think that's Becky Lynch just being a Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch has been calling Ronda Ronnie since the beginning
for the whole feud. Yeah.
Ric Flair didn't have a podcast then. Now it's his forum to express his displeasure with it. That's his opinion. All right.
It just seems like whatever Becky Lynch does, it just gets underneath his skin. Like, Becky Lynch is living in Ric Flair's head rent-free.
What was the end of that quote?
Rent-free. He says, thank you, Ronda, for showing up because I'm not the man anymore. I'm generic. Who am I? Big time Bex. The last kicker. I don't know. That's what he says.
I'll disagree with her being generic. Yeah, she has many monikers. She came out with the last kicker. That was mediocre. Almost got her released. Then she became the man as we know where that had led. But to be calling her generic, that was the one that. What is his problem with her? That his opinion. He's entitled to his opinion. He made some valid points in certain things, but to call her generic, I think, might lead to your point of there being some sort of underlying animosity here. And
I think Ric Flair. It's making Ric Flair sound like an old man who can't let go of a grudge. Or it's making him thirsty for the spotlight because he knows whatever he's saying about Becky Lynch is going to get attention. One of the two. Either way, it's not a good Ric Flair.
I'm not a fan of the rest of that podcast episode because they went on to bash Sami Zayn. I think Sami Zayn's killing it right now. So right now, I think their opinions are a little bit warped, out of touch.
Okay, out of touch. It's outdated, if anything. There are things that old timers in wrestling that say that hold some weight that could be true, but things do evolve. Like for a long time, the old timers thought the whole DX thing, the whole curtain call at Madison Square Garden, was atrocious.
Yeah,
it was an embarrassment to the business.
Huge, broke kayfabe.
Every old timer thought that, but it changed the game quite a bit, did it not?
Yep. Totally.
For the better, some would say.
Some.
So I think we're seeing another thing here, like things are changing and, the old timers, they're going to say their thing. Some of it could be true. Some of it could just be outdated stuff. But Ric Flair, listen, he hasn't had a good look in the Twitterverse or the internet for almost a year now, ever since the whole Dark Side of the Ring episode came out. and he's just not doing himself any favors, especially with like Becky Lynch is just so over, and not for nothing. I mean, Becky Lynch, she owns everybody on Twitter.
I thought it was a great comeback on her part. I thought
right? Totally was.
Great way to shut everybody up, shut down the end of the conversation. Oh, what is her reaction going to be? How's Ric Flair going to respond? And there's no way he can respond to that. Boom. Let's move on. Conversation over.
And I'm sure, like I don't know if you saw on the Broken Skull, the podcast, Becky Lynch was on.
I didn't see that one though.
Fabulous episode, by the way. Becky Lynch, like it was really well done. Even my wife, who's not a wrestling fan, was like, "Wow, this is really good." Stone Cold crushed it, but it seems like Becky Lynch does want to move past the whole Charlotte Flair stuff. She doesn't think it's going to happen while they're both active in WWE, but she's hoping when both their careers are over, they could go back to being friends again. But I don't think this Ric Flair putting his 2 cents in every single chance he gets helps the matter.
Also in that podcast episode, they were talking about other wrestlers and how they like this guy. I think Kevin Owens, he's very high in Kevin Owens, because Kevin Owens has always been very respectful to him. And I forgot who it was. This one current superstar doesn't give him the time of day, doesn't come up to Ric Flair, doesn't talk to him, doesn't acknowledge him. And he feels like that's a disrespect. The younger guys should acknowledge and pay respect to the people who came before them.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Very disrespectful. And I guess that eats away at him. It's one of his pet peeves. So there's got to be some sort of disrespect here. I don't know what behind the scenes Becky Lynch said something to him or did something to him too. But the more we're talking about it, the more I'm realizing there's got to be some sort of personal animosity here. It can't just be the man gimmick.
No, because that was...
Maybe you are right. Maybe it is Charlotte. I don't see how it's connected, but maybe Charlotte Flair said something to him, and he took it personally, and he's done defending his daughter, I guess, taking her side. It could all go back to that, but who knows?
Because the whole man thing, that's not a Becky Lynch thing per se. That's more of like WWE executives. They're the one that comes up with creatives and the merchandise and all that, and the monikers. Of course, talent does have some say, but overall, I mean, that's WWE's ruling. So WWE dropped the lawsuit, or Ric Flair won. Either way, Ric Flair did ultimately win in that, and Becky Lynch has moved on to a new moniker. So it can't be that. It can't be that. Who knows?
Still a very interesting podcast. Check it out.
Fair enough. So moving on here to AEW news, Macho Beard at Macho Beard for Life tweets a quote from Andrew Zarian. I know for a fact that people in WWE are interested in her, Jade Cargill, now that they've gotten to see what she can do on TV. So there's rumors that Jade Cargill could possibly go to WWE because, hey, WWE, they have the money. They have their eyes set on her. Putty, what do you think about this? Do you think there's a chance Jade Cargill could wind up in WWE?
There's always a chance. Them to be high on her and want her in the company? Yeah, no shit. She's taking that women's division by storm. What, she's 27-0? Now they're going to start building this undefeated storyline angle with her. And I've been high on her since I first saw her. I think she's going to be huge in this business. So does not surprise me at all if WWE wants her in. Does she go? Again, I've said numerous times, you nobody in this business unless you step foot in WWE ring. So I would like to see her. I'd like to see her give it a go. You look at the track record. She's not a homegrown talent. She's famous for somebody else. They don't do well with people who made their name elsewhere, outside AJ Styles. Yeah,
I was going to say AJ Styles seems to be like the only one that really broke through with that. And Goldberg, I guess, to a degree.
So I'm curious to see where she would fit into the woman picture anyway. Especially still the 4 horsewomen who are homegrown talent. And, Bianca Belair now owning the main event scene now. Where does she fit in? I'm curious to see where she would. I'm hoping this happens.
You do hope it happens. Okay, that was my next question, to see if this is something you do want to see. Jade Cargill, I mean, listen, she's the total package, bro. Yeah. She's a modern version of China, but probably more athletic, which is a dangerous, dangerous woman right there. Mm-hmm. She's got everything you'd want in a superstar.
Yep.
Male or female. And she's got the charisma, she's got the look, she's got the in-ring ability. She's a moneymaker. So, of course, WWE would want her. They see what she's doing. Like, fuck yeah, I want that. Listen, at some point in time here, and it's been quoted, Tony Khan has said, listen, we can't keep everyone here under contract. That's a fact, especially since they're bringing more and more people in.
Yeah, of course.
We'll get more to that later. So, eventually, we're going to see probably going to see a big-time AEW person go to WWE.
Yeah.
Could Jade Cargill be the first person? Would it be MJF? Who do you think will be the one?
Out of those two options, I think Jade Cargill is more likely.
Not necessarily just have those two options, but like who? Like, do you think Jade Cargill, no matter what, will be the one to go to WWE? Will be the first big AEW person to jump ship to WWE?
Again, talking about people who are walking through the forbidden door, making their surprise entrance at the Royal Rumble. Who's going to make that big reaction? Who's going to get that pop? Again, outside MJF, there's no real homegrown AEW talent that would, I think, elicit the reaction WWE wants. All the big market guys are former WWE guys.
I think Orange Cassidy would actually get that pop too.
Do you?
Believe it or not. I actually do. He's so over. He's so popular. I only see Orange Cassidy being a WWE guy by any means, though. But I think Orange Cassidy would totally get a pop.
Really? That big of a pop?
I think he would, yeah.
Okay.
You'd probably get more of a pop than like Darby Allin.
Yeah. Darby
We're
Allin.
just talking about AEW growing talent.
Darby Allin would be fucking stupid to go to WWE. They would not do anything with him there.
No, they wouldn't. Britt Baker would get a pop if we're talking about
That's true.
Females.
I don't see her leaving.
MJF.
I don't see her.
Britt Baker would get a bigger pop than Jade Cargill. I don't necessarily know how popular Jade Cargill is. Would people know her in WWE?
I think some people would. I don't think she'd get like a huge pop reaction, but it would get Twitterverse like, oh my god, here it is.
Yeah, Twitterverse would go nuts. Yeah,
that's what.
What would they name her?
Debut her, right? Yeah, it's a different story. Who knows? If anybody,
random name.
Yeah, if anybody could do it, I'm hoping she has definitely the tools behind her to be successful in the.
With the right booking, she absolutely could.
Yeah.
With the right push behind her, but, like, I'm just thinking about the possible matchups. See, like Jade Cargill versus Charlotte Flair, of course, would be the big one sticks out to mind. Versus Bianca Belair, Sasha Banks, Bayley. Like the list goes on about like the people that she could face in there that she could have easily a 5-star match.
That'd be a good match.
Raquel Gonzalez, yeah, that would be a good match too. I would pay to see that.
Yeah, man.
So no, I mean it's interesting to see that, especially with Tony Khan's comments and like the rumors about WWE has their eye on certain talent. Of course, MJF's name has come up multiple times. You'd have to be an idiot not to want MJF on your roster. I think it's gonna be interesting to see like over time, see who does jump ship here. And yeah, I think Twitterverse is gonna explode, and maybe over time, like these people that we're talking about, their names grow in the stratosphere in the WWE universe, and they'll become more well known. So that'll be interesting to watch.
Maybe.
And finally, moving on, there was a noticeable disappearance on SmackDown tonight that got Twitter abuzz. Taylor Hendricks at Taylor_Hendricks. I miss Pat McAfee on commentary. That energy is top notch. Hashtag SmackDown. Agreed. Especially when Boogs and Shinsuke Nakamura came out. It just wasn't the same, bro. It just felt like a lack of energy there, if you will. Also, Denise Salcedo at _Denise Salcedo. I don't know. I never know if I'm pronouncing her last name right. She goes, you're good at your job when you're trending because you ain't there. LOL. I missed Pat. I too miss Pat McAfee. LOL. Hashtag SmackDown. Pat McAfee was trending.
Great point.
Because of the fact.
That's a great point.
Right? It is. Because of the fact that he wasn't there. Obviously, he does his own podcast in football. He's covering the Super Bowl this week, so obviously that's why he couldn't be there. So Corey Graves took over. Not so popular anymore. There seems to be like a whole battle. There are some people that actually do favor Corey Graves over Pat McAfee. A lot of people seem to be favoring Pat McAfee over Corey Graves. Putty, what do you think? Who's a better commentator?
It depends on your rating criteria. I like both of them. I thought both of them do a bang-up job. I mean, wrestling commentating, it's definitely Corey Graves. Hands down.
Okay.
Blows Pat McAfee out of the water. But Pat McAfee does a great job of calling what he's reacting to and saying what a lot of fans say at home. So he's saying,
also valid
he's
point.
saying what we're thinking. Corey Graves is more of taking the stance of being an official commentator. So two different styles, two different approaches to the job. Both of them excel at it. I don't know why we have to pick sides again. I love both of them. And again, Corey Graves just picked it up like a fish to water tonight. Like he didn't miss a beat. Good job. And it was also weird. They did reference it. How Michael Cole said it's weird to see Pat Boogs come out without you standing on the table. Oh, I'm sorry. It was Corey Graves who said, somewhere Pat McAfee's dancing on a table right now.
Right. I popped for that.
And then Michael Cole said something, and then Corey Graves was like, yeah, I don't miss him sitting on your face. Some stupid stuff like that. All this stupid shit McAfee does. So you knew that was happening, but also what kind of changed the tone of the show was when Happy Corbin came out. Pat McAfee hates Happy. He's always shitting on Happy Corbin. Then he see Corey Graves go like, I like Happy Corbin. Happy Corbin's doing, turned his life around, made something out of nothing. Different tone, different vibe different energy to the show, but it still worked.
I feel like, I don't know. I forgot what it was. Was it Royal Rumble? I think it was actually Survivor Series, where there's a 3-man booth. It was Pat McAfee and Corey Graves and Michael Cole, right?
Oh,
and I sensed there was a weird thing between Corey Graves and Pat McAfee. I feel like I don't necessarily think Corey Graves in real life is a fan of Pat McAfee. Do you pick up on that or no? Or am I reading too much into it? I'm
not picking up on that at all. I'm not so well versed in the Twitter exchanges they have.
No, not even exchanges. I don't even think they've exchanged tweets or anything like that at all. No, there've been like jabs that Corey Graves would say, and it seems like it would kind of put Pat McAfee in his place a bit.
Maybe
it's a weird dynamic there. I don't necessarily know if it's just like a work or maybe there's a real thing there, but that Corey Graves has against Pat McAfee. I think it's more so Corey Graves against Pat McAfee more than Pat McAfee is against Corey Graves.
Yeah, I think Pat
McAfee's just living his life and having a great time.
I didn't even think about it. You gotta wonder, like, Raw is the flagship of the WWE Universe. That's the A show. It's the show in the wrestling world right now. No matter what you think it sucks or not, it's still Raw.
That's how WWE treats it internally. Yes. I think the fans would have a different point of view.
Not this guy. The year Saturday Night Live sucked, and they offered you to host Saturday Night Live. Just look at me fucking marking out. I'm hosting Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Of course. To be on Raw is a huge fucking deal. Especially, I guess, for other people.
It is.
But also, it was a huge deal to be the face of a network show on SmackDown.
Right.
Which Pat McAfee replaced Corey Graves. So Pat McAfee.
He did.
So I wonder if that's some sort of like, oh man, I had a nice gig. I was on Fox, prime time, and then I got replaced for really no reason.
And he's kind of playing a babysitter role still.
Yeah. So
Corey Graves.
That could be a role of it too, but who knows? I'm loving both these guys. Both of them. Awesome.
I do enjoy both of them. As you mentioned before, they're both very different. Like Corey Graves, I think, is probably the best commentator in sports, period.
Wow.
His vocabulary is bar none to anyone else. Like, even my wife is an English teacher, and he'll bust out a word. She's like, I never heard that word before.
Talk about vocabulary, yeah. I would put him in the same par as Matt Striker.
I think Corey Graves probably has a more vast vocabulary than Matt Striker. Yeah, I would go as far to say that. His own commentary. I can't speak for them off the air.
I'll let them do a commentary together. Because they both have both very smart men, both extensive vocabularies, and Matt Striker just pulls all these random facts out of thin air. Oh, yo, so that's this guy was traded by so-and-so in the dojo in Japan. Like, remember in 1947, his great-great-grandfather, I'm like, what? So I think his knowledge and Corey Graves' attitude and vocabulary very mesh well together.
So there it is, though. What you just said, like Corey Graves is like an English teacher, and then you have Matt Striker who's like a history teacher.
Yeah,
wasn't he?
I think he was an English teacher. Wasn't he an English teacher?
I think he was actually. I think that's
English.
That's a true thing.
Social studies. I don't know. Right next door, a couple blocks away from my house, by the way.
But no, yeah. I mean, Corey Graves is great. What he does, but Pat McAfee, no one else touches him on is energy.
Oh, yeah, no one comes close.
No one comes even close.
No.
And I love how WWE just lets him be because you cannot control that.
Again, like I said, it's more like us doing, like a fan doing it. Like when you do those WrestleMania accesses. Oh, call a match with an announcer. Like, yeah, that's what we'd be doing. Yeah. The energy, doing it, saying stupid stuff. Pat McAfee also came out this week. Was it this week? He gets yelled at every week for saying future Hall of Famer, and he always intentionally tries to sneak it into every episode just so he can get yelled at.
Really?
Yeah. Because they don't like that phrase.
Wow. Did not know that.
Yeah, I think it was earlier this week. And he intentionally does it now to get yelled at, to get people to riled up backstage.
Not for nothing. Pat McAfee's a rich motherfucker, man. He doesn't even need this job.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's you tell he's having fun because he didn't need it. He wants to do it. He wants to be there.
He wants to do it. I think WWE knows that too. It's like he's worth more off WWE than anything else.
Yeah. And he also said that numerous times. When he was a heel in NXT, he makes millions of dollars wherever franchise he goes. He doesn't need to be here.
And that's before the huge deal he got from FanDuel this past year.
Yeah, true.
You know, like now he's to the point that he was like giving money away literally, you know, and he's still got a lot of money left over.
Yeah.
But, you know, kudos to both, man. I don't necessarily know why all the hate for Corey Graves. I see a lot more hate for Corey Graves than anything else. I understand why people love Pat McAfee so much. I mean, how can you not love him?
Yeah.
But Corey Graves is damn good at what he does. You know, both guys, you know, I guess it depends on your case here, but I have to say right now at this moment, I know I modeled a lot of the stuff I did off Corey Graves on commentary, but I got to say Pat McAfee, he's untouchable at this moment. He's a man.
All right, Marcus, on that note, do you want to get some TV takedown this week?
Let's do it up, man.
It's time for this week's TV Takedown.
All right, Marcus, I think I mentioned this before the show started. You kind of disagree with me, as usual. But I really enjoyed this week of TV. Monday through Friday, fantastic week.
No.
Marcus, why don't you lead off what your TV takedown was this week? I have a laundry list.
There were moments. I mean, you know, I think the biggest thing for me is, you know, Keith Lee, you know, making his debut in AEW. And, man, like, there's a big difference between him on AEW Dynamite than when he was on the main roster in Raw. You know, you could just tell he's happy to be there.
Is there a difference between from that one episode of AEW? You see the difference between him and NXT?
So he seems like him back in NXT. He looked good. It was a good, strong showing there. A good, strong debut.
You were one of those people complaining he's overweight?
No,
that was also
trending
this week too.
So much show like a before and after. Like I feel like those are angles or whatever. Yeah. I don't necessarily know. But
he was. Who cares? He's super athletic. He killed it.
Whatever. Keith Lee looked great. I'm more focused on his debut right now. I mean, he looks great, man. And I'm personally looking forward to see what he does in AEW because, man, he looks happy to be there. He looks stoked. He looks energized. He looked strong. He looked glorious. You know, people, you know, having the chance basking in his glory. I mean, if the energy was all there from the fans, from him, from commentary, you know, I'm really looking forward to see, like, you know, how much damage he does there. Does he face Adam Cole? Does he face CM Punk? John Moxley? I mean, the rivalries could be endless here. Who he could face and as far as the bar of what he could accomplish on AEW.
Tony Khan came into Wednesday saying he's going to make a big announcement about the Forbidden Door. No announcement was made. Do you think it was underwhelming? Because Switchblade, Jay White just showed up. Then Keith Lee just showed up.
Showed up.
There was no announcement for anybody. Like, they just showed up. I was expecting, maybe, I don't know if you, but I expected, there could be some big announcement. No. People just walked on the screen.
Keith Lee, I mean, that's a big deal. That's a huge deal.
But it's not a Forbidden Door thing, though. He was a free agent, not a Forbidden Door.
Jay White is the Forbidden Door.
Yeah, that's what they were talking about. And it's the way he just showed up. I'm like, I thought it'd be more of a...
Now, me and you, I mean, we're not necessarily New Japan guys, but, like, you know, people that are more well-versed in wrestling than we are, as far as, like, knowing New Japan and whatnot, that's a big deal. That is a big deal. Even I could acknowledge it's a big deal.
That's also a huge deal now. Friday night on Rampage, I think they just announced it tonight. Jay White's going to be in action. I forgot who his opponent was. But then next night, watch him on Impact, his pay-per-view, because he's doing both shows now. So good for him.
Right. So there it is. I mean, that's the Forbidden Door right there.
Yeah, no, that's who I thought it was. I mean, after the fact.
You're right.
But I just thought the way they hyped it up, I thought it was going to be more of a, I guess, announcement, more of an impact. He just showed up. Okay. That might be just me nitpicking, but I was like, okay. I thought it would be more of a...
now, also apparently, I mean, like, Adam Cole, you know, Adam Cole having that relationship, whatever it is you want to call it, with Jay White, I mean, that caused more of a rift probably with Kenny Omega, because Kenny Omega and Jay White definitely had that rivalry over New Japan.
That's what I heard people saying online, something I wasn't aware of. So I'm like, oh, yeah, maybe. Okay, that's cool.
So, I mean, I don't follow New Japan, but I pick up on things here and there about it. So I kind of knew that in the back of my head. So it's going to be interesting to see, too, like, when Kenny Omega comes back, like, how is this all going to play out? I mean, they're just planting seeds right now. I think AEW is playing a good job as far as, like, playing the long game with this. There's definitely some sort of plan here. And I think when it manifests itself, it's just going to be phenomenal.
All right, no doubt.
But that's why I have for AEW. I do have one more thing leading to Elimination Chamber, though.
Okay.
I think the one match that really has my attention right now, going into this, is Becky Lynch and Lita. Even though I know or I feel like I know what the outcome is going to be of Becky Lynch winning, retaining the title, and going to WrestleMania.
Yeah, hands down.
Lita's still got it, man.
Yep.
Lita looked great on Raw. Like, that segment was awesome. And Becky Lynch, I mean, that was a hell of a promo by her, too, by the way. I mean, she's crushing it. I really want to see this match. I really want to see, like, how well this match is. Will it equate to, like, what Charlotte did against Trish Stratus? Will it be, like, that type of level match, seeing, like, you know, the passing of the guard, if you will?
Maybe.
Will that be the case for Becky and Lita here? I'm pumped for this, and the fact it's taking place in Saudi Arabia. I keep forgetting it's in Saudi Arabia because there's so many female matches.
Yeah, right. Nuts. Making progress, Marcus. Making progress. That's what the whole thing was about.
Yeah, Lita definitely can't have her thong out for this one. But
yeah, right. Damn. Why bother watching then?
But I think it's going to be a phenomenal match, man. I think it's going to be one for the ages. At least I hope it is.
Hope so. Yeah.
I have my eyes on this. It's a great storytelling right here. And Lita, again, she still has it. I don't necessarily know what she does afterwards. Is this going to be her last match? Who knows? But
who knows?
If it is,
what a way to go out.
That's a good way to go out. But that's all I got for TV, buddy.
Marcus, a couple weeks ago, we had AJ Pan on the show because you couldn't make it. And I brought something up because I know I can't bring it up, talk to you about it. So me and him had a conversation about it. And, you know, I think I'm finally ready, Marcus, to address it in front of you. Here you go. The week started out on a high note with my boys, my new boys, the Alpha Academy, and this quiz bowl. Props to all four men because this segment could have easily have gone down the tubes. Nothing really happened in this segment. Easily the fans could have shouted boring, sabotage it with CM Punk chants. But the way all four men interacted with the crowd to keep the crowd invested in this lame segment, props to all four of these guys. I just gotta say, thank you. Chad Gable fucking killing it. Love me some Chad Gable, Marcus.
So you're looking forward to more of like what here?
This match now. The way they've built this 3 weeks of no physical interaction at all between these guys. Now here we are, and they're killing it. Each segment was very enjoyable to me. Now can their on-screen chemistry these four men clearly have, can that translate inside the ring? I'm looking forward to this match.
You know, I have to say here, buddy, and I'm
a
Randy Orton fan.
This is the best Chad Gable I've seen. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm a big Randy Orton fan, right? And even Randy Orton is not for me get me invested in this. I'm sorry. It's
really?
It's
surprising.
It's just for the life of me, even him and Riddle, it just doesn't make sense. Like I can't wait for Orton to turn on Riddle if anything, so they can have a match, which is probably going to happen.
Not anymore, man. I'm all in on this.
It's just WWE, like, I don't know what it is with tag teams. Like, I just can't get invested in their tag team division at all. None of it.
So, in the middle of the week, I'll start listening to my podcast I have, right? Including After the Bell. We're doing the show Friday. Friday, when the show comes out, I made sure I listened to it before the show started. It was with the Alpha Academy. Great interview with these guys to talk about their personal lives, how long they've known each other. Definitely check it out. And they were talking about the tag team division. And they made a good point. I don't know if something that we're aware of, I just wasn't physically aware of. Some of the best tag teams are the same characters in the team. You look at the Young Bucks, both guys are the same character. FTR, both guys are the same character. You look at the Usos even, both guys are the same character. To a certain extent, Street Profits, same character. You look at the Alpha Academy, look at RK Bro, you have two very distinct, different characters. I think that's what makes it engaging. It's not the same old cookie-cutter tag teams. It's very opposites attract, making it more engaging. Again, I earned a lot of respect for Chad Gable. There's an interview. Check it out After the Bell with Alpha Academy.
Hey, no disrespect to Chad Gable. I mean, Chad Gable.
AJ, you hear that? AJ, you hear that? No disrespect. He's about to disrespect them.
He's a good wrestler. He's a good wrestler. I remember the first time I saw him live was an NXT takeover in Brooklyn when he was teaming with Jordan. I forgot who he faced. I forgot who they faced that one, but it was my first time seeing him live. I'm like, man, these guys can go.
But you're also a big character guy. To see where he's gone from Shorty G, even from the beginning stages of Alpha Academy, you see his character work has improved tremendously to where he is now.
I'll give him this. I mean, he's owning the character.
He's killing it.
Cup of tea, but like
this is the best.
He seems like he's owning it.
The best I've seen.
And Otis, I like Otis better as heel.
Oh yeah.
I just feel like the WWE. It's not necessarily. I honestly think it's a knock on the 40 guys that you're talking about in there. I think it's more of a knock on WWE and how they've treated tag teams before, because like we know it's not going to last. We know it's not going to last.
That's not an unfair statement. It's a true statement. Yeah, I'm saying like, maybe that's because I'm so excited about this segment because it's actually giving the Raw tag team some sort of championships, a main stage. We haven't seen that in a while.
I guess so, but like, unless you're the New Day or unless you're the Usos, which is pretty much impossible to split up, like no other tag team stands a chance as far as like long form storytelling.
Who knows? Hopefully that changes.
In WWE, at least.
Yeah.
So it's so hard to get invested in that. And, like, you know, honestly, the tag team division, even the wrestling style, I can't get into it. As opposed to, and I know you're going to hate this, as opposed to AEW, I saw a great tag team match over there when Moxley teamed with CM Punk to face FTR. I thought that was a phenomenal match.
Was it?
I guess you didn't watch it. I thought you...
I fast-forwarded it.
I watched all of TV. You know, it's a great week for TV.
Yeah, I fast-forwarded the match I don't care about.
Wow.
I don't care about CM Punk. I don't care about John Moxley. Okay. I don't need to watch this match. I got to go to bed soon. Let me fast forward.
Is it because they left WWE?
No, I think it's insulting for you to say that. No, because I didn't give a care.
Because I knew you're a loyalist.
I didn't care about them. I didn't care about them WWE either. So, fuck you, asshole. Moving on to NXT. What am I looking forward to, Marcus? How Dolph Ziggler is going to fit into this title picture. Very surprised to see Dolph Ziggler show up in NXT. Now,
he's called it out a couple times on WWE Digital.
With Braun Breaker. There's some sort of rivalry online with Braun Breaker and Dolph Ziggler?
WWE, he was interviewed on WWE Digital like 2 weeks in a row. He brought up Braun Breaker and NXT a couple times.
Because then Braun Breaker mentioned how he doesn't work Tuesdays. That's what Dolph Ziggler showed up. I think this could work. I'm excited about this. I love the way AJ Styles came in and worked with Grayson Waller. I think this could be the same level. And I'm excited to see where Dolph Ziggler goes. Because now he's feuding with Tommaso Ciampa. I thought the whole segment was great. I'm happy to see Dolph Ziggler get some sort of shine. So I'm tired of them just doing nothing on the main roster.
No, I agreed with that, actually. Ziggler's at the point of his career where, like, he should be helping out younger talent, and NXT is just nothing but young talent. They definitely need some sort of veteran help there, other than Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah.
I think Dolph Ziggler is a great person to do that because the guy can still go.
Oh, yeah.
He's in phenomenal shape. His ring prowess is just next to no one else can touch him. I feel like in NXT as far as his in-ring knowledge.
I think Braun Breaker could definitely benefit working with him.
Oh, totally. Because Braun Breaker, I mean, he's still green in my eyes. He's got a lot of natural ability for sure, but I think it definitely needs to be ironed out quite a bit more. Like, you can have natural talent in anything, but you also need to develop those skills a little bit better when it comes to this type of stage here.
Again, also, he referenced it in that segment. All of us know it. Dolph Ziggler steals a show whatever match he is. He does never disappointed. I've never seen a bad Dolph Ziggler match. And I think putting on a great match for Braun Breaker, whenever that happens, maybe I think WrestleMania time probably. I don't know when the timeline is. He's not going to win, but it'll help Braun Breaker get a great match, and it'll definitely teach him a few things.
And Dolph Ziggler is probably the best seller in the game, so keep that in mind too.
Definitely,
like he'll make Braun Breaker look really good.
Great point.
So the NXT needs like someone like that in there. Like I feel like when NXT first started, Cesaro was kind of like that guy. Remember the classic matches Cesaro had with Sami Zayn? Natty did the same thing in the women's division.
Yeah,
with Charlotte Flair. Yeah. That was an iconic match. So I think WWE is kind of going back to the well here. Remembering when NXT first started, because it is kind of like a refresh. It's kind of like NXT starting all over again. Yeah. NXT 2.0, as they say. What worked back then was having some of this talent, the main roster talents that are not being utilized as much on the main roster, but have that veteran experience to come on down and help these guys and girls out a bit. I think it's a smart move.
Moving on really quickly. Your favorite subject, Marcus, in the entire world, besides your new baby, AEW. Man, what a great segment that Inner Circle thing was.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty interesting.
Santana and Ortiz got a lot of mic time, more than I've heard in the last couple months. And it's setting up to be a good match next week. I haven't seen Jake Hager wrestle a lot either, so give me a chance to watch him wrestle. Looking forward to this match. It could go either way. Either Inner Circle breaks up or they beat each other senseless and get back together. I thought that promo was well done. I'm looking forward to this match next week.
I was looking forward to see how Eddie Kingston will play out in this, but unfortunately, apparently he's injured.
Yeah. And I don't think we needed him. The segment we worked because Inner Circle segment only, it worked very well.
Yeah, but I was saying for the match itself, I was wondering if Eddie Kingston would be involved somehow, some way, but
Maybe.
I don't think he can even.
I'm not sure the timeline, but maybe if he can. And I love how Jericho referenced how he maybe signed Raw on LAX. Does he have Santana? Does anybody have Homicide Hernandez's number? Great throwback to the TNA Impact days.
Right. Jericho's
this segment,
he's a master at that.
Overall was all well done. What am I looking forward to is now, how is Josh Alexander going to come back on Impact? I think Impact, great episode, one of the best episodes of Impact I've seen in the last couple of weeks. And the way they've been building this Scott D'Amore, Josh Alexander riff, and this week they came out, expressed their pasts. Scott D'Amore is now the father figure toward Josh Alexander, but yet he's being a dick to him, not giving his title shot. He suspended him indefinitely. He's telling him to go home. So how do they bring Josh Alexander back? I think that segment was probably one of the best in-ring promos for both men I've seen in a long time.
Is his contract up or no?
No, not that I'm aware of. I think he
Okay.
just recently might have even resigned. So this is all storyline based. He's definitely going to win the championship again. This is just prolonging it. But yeah, it was very, very intense, very personal because he's been screwing Josh Alexander, not really screwing him, but making him earn his title way back. But this was just all the cards are on the table. Impact's doing great things, and I'm curious how this is going to play out in the future. I got to keep tuning in when Josh Alexander going to come back, and how is he going to bring him back?
Impact is doing a lot of great things there. It's cool to see. I feel like Tasha Steelz, every time she comes on, she's just getting to another gear every single time she goes on Impact.
The best thing that happened to her was when Kiera Hogan left.
Probably. And I love them together, actually.
I love them together. But now you're seeing this whole new side of her, the Borgia Badass that we've seen in Indies and BCW mainly.
Right.
We're seeing her shine, and she's killing it.
Her, Savannah Evans.
Great.
I mean, that's a great duo. Right? I hate to go back to the well saying this, but it kind of reminds me a little bit of like a different version of a Shawn Michaels Diesel type of deal. You know, Dakota Kai, Raquel Gonzalez, if you will. Like, you know, they kind of have that vibe. I guess because, you know, Tasha Steelz is small and Savannah Evans so much bigger. But, like, they're both killing it, man. Tasha Steelz, I could definitely see her becoming next Knockouts champion at some point soon.
SmackDown tonight, Naomi versus Charlotte Flair. Naomi came out, I think it was 9:23. That match got a lot of time. Great match.
It was actually a good match.
Very good match.
So, it looks like here, Sonya Deville, she kind of broke what Vince McMahon said. She did lay hands on Naomi.
Again,
does that mean she's done? How does that play? Are we going to see Sonya Deville versus Naomi in WrestleMania? Is that going to be the play?
Would you be upset about that?
But we already saw it. We already saw it for free on SmackDown. Unless it's some sort of stipulation match.
Has to be stipulation match.
It has to be at this point, right?
Yeah.
So it's funny. I don't know why I decided to recently rewatch Tough Enough, the last season.
With one of Mandy Rose?
With Mandy Rose, okay. Sonya Deville, Chelsea Green, I forgot was on there.
Yeah, she replaced somebody. So she wasn't even on there.
Yeah, she replaced someone. Velveteen Dream's on there.
Yeah.
Hey, even like in the trial episode, Shotzi Blackheart.
Yeah.
She was on the show and she had to leave because of a heart palpitation, whatever it was.
Oh, I remember that part. Okay, I know she was on the show. I didn't remember the reason why she left, but that's cool.
Yeah.
That was a great season.
So it was a great season. It was the last season of Tough Enough. So it's crazy to see, like, Sonya Deville was like eliminated so early, and it's just crazy to see her right now in the role that she has, because she's so damn good, man. It's crazy the fact that, like, she's been out of the ring for what, over a year now, right?
Well over a year.
Well over a year. Because, like, beforehand, like, she was just phenomenal, man. She was like, I was thinking that she could win the championship at some point soon.
Yeah.
Especially with the rivalry she had with Mandy Rose. Her character work, her in-ring work, her promo work was just so damn good. And then you had that crazy stalker, and it ruined a lot of things there for her.
And she's killing it in this role, but I'm hoping this leads to her not being in this role, because I think she deserves to be more in-ring time and, like I said, get a chance at the championship.
Absolutely, man. She should not be not necessarily, like, you know, jobbing per se, but yeah, I feel like she was kind of jobbing to Naomi, man. Like, where's that old Sonya Deville that we saw that was just tearing up the roster?
The MMA fighter.
Yeah, I want to see a legit good fight between her and Naomi. I do want to give a shout out to MLW, actually.
Okay.
With Richard Holiday and Alicia Tout turning on Alex Hammerstein. That was a big deal. Like, the dynasty's broken up.
Really?
I definitely didn't see that coming. Alicia Talent like getting physical there and giving a low blow and a weird makeout session there. But I thought that was pretty cool. A good way to end MLW. It definitely had people's eyes on social media, had my attention. I was like, whoa, different side of her. And Holiday, he was like teasing a good guy act for like the last few weeks. The Dynasty has been around for a few years now. With MJF was part of that stable. It was surprising to see, man. It was pretty cool. It was a pretty good way to go. Especially like, we never talk about MLW in the show. So, I mean, that was a good moment to see.
All right. Props to you for bringing it up. Good job.
Yeah, so I just want to give a highlight to that. I'm curious to see how this plays out. And I know Alicia Talent, I think she's been like training during the pandemic. I wonder if she's going to get more physical as time goes on there. I definitely want to see how this matchup plays out between Holiday and Hammerstein. So I think that'll be awesome. When I say Hammerstein, Hammerstone. Am I saying Hammerstone? I'm drinking, man. Shit.
You said Hammerstein.
Hammerstein? Fuck, man. That's so wrong. Hammerstone. Alexander Hammerstone. Sorry, guys. I've been drinking. Richard Holiday, Alexander Hammerstone, MLW. Definitely check this out, man. Hammerstone is a beast, if people don't know. And he reminds me he's like a Brock Lesnar type, but probably a little bit smaller. I can't believe I want to say that about the dude. And Holiday is just a classic heel. And these guys have worked with MJF before, so they definitely know promo work and mic work. They know storytelling pretty damn well. Give it a watch. MLW's
doing good stuff. The whole wrestling world's doing good stuff right now.
Like everyone's stepping up their game, man. Everyone.
Great time to be a wrestling fan.
You have Killer Cross coming to MLW now.
Killer Cross coming to Outlaw Wrestling soon to go against Homicide for the World Championship. Can't wait for that. Luke Gallows coming to Outlaw soon.
Rena Shafir coming to BCW, but the week before that, she's facing Masha Slamovich, which is going to be a sick match. Yo, dude, I mean, like everywhere between the Indies to AEW, MLW, Impact, NWA, GCW, and to some degree WWE. They're all killing it.
Such a dick.
Out of everything I just mentioned, can you really say WWE is killing it all across the board? I can't say no. They're not. In some moments they are, but like not consistently.
I can't say any company's killing it all across the board. Everybody has their low moments.
I think every company is raising their game. I feel like WWE is not raising the game. I feel like they've stayed complacent for a very long time.
Agree, disagree.
You think over the years WWE has stepped up their game? They have not.
Over the last year, it's been better than it had been when they had no competition. Yes.
One person has raised their game in that company. His name is Roman Reigns.
Seth Rollins.
Everything.
Charlotte Flair. Becky Lynch.
Charlotte Flair. I love Charlotte Flair. I'm a big Charlotte Flair fan. She has not upped her game. She's stayed the same the whole time.
All right, well.
She's great at what she does. Don't get me wrong.
I'm getting you wrong. I'm getting you wrong here. But we are way over time. Let's get some go-home thoughts. What do you got for me this week?
Well, Punny, other what I mentioned in the opening of the show, that was a pretty big deal for me for the Super Bowl. But I was also interviewed on Never Settle podcast, hosted by Sarah Quiriconi. Hopefully I have her last name right. So that was a cool podcast. It was cool to be a guest on. We were basically talking about in general, which was a pretty enlightening podcast. She was great in the sense that she allowed me to open up in a way I haven't opened up before publicly. I have to give her credit. I said after the show too, like much credit to you as an interviewer, because that's something I always aspire to do, to allow such a forum for our guests comfortable enough to feel comfortable opening up in a certain way. So kudos to her. It's coming out, I think, this coming week. So Never Settle podcast.
A couple weeks ago, Marcus, I did fulfill my promise, and I went to Pink's in the city to hang out with AJ Pan, my guiding light, for some karaoke.
Nice.
Great time. It was really enjoyable. Definitely needed it. Last week I didn't go. I can't go every week. I'm in my shadows of my 40s. I can't go every week. But he does theme nights, which is interesting.
Oh, so what's the theme coming up this week?
Don't know about this week, but last week was love. Anytime you sing a song with word love in the title, you get a free shot.
Oh, no shit. Oh, my God. This is going to be dangerous.
Definitely check it out.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking to go this week. Celebrating my birthday. Actually, yeah, that's a go-home thought. It's my birthday week. I'm going to be 36 years old. Heading closer to 40?
I missed 36.
Buddy.
Really?
What can I expect? What can I expect at 36, buddy?
You're asking the wrong guy because I had kidney biopsies, I had endoscopies, colonoscopies, more medications. So you're asking the wrong guy. My 36 years.
I've already had a colonoscopy. Okay, so I've been there.
Fucking great, wasn't it? Oof.
No, it's not.
It's fantastic.
We had a whole different experience because I was not a fan. Maybe it was my doctor, I guess.
Dude, that nap was the best nap I've ever had. And I just recently went for an endoscopy, and it was just a great night's sleep. It was a different anesthesiologist, and he was just a really fun, cracking jokes the whole time because my doctor was late. He's like, "Oh, who do you have for the Super Bowl?" I'm like, it's a very close call. I'm looking for a good game, but I'm probably leaning towards the Rams. I think Stafford deserves it for all the time he spent in Detroit. He goes, "All right, good. I'll give you the real stuff instead of the fake stuff." And yeah, that kind of resonates. Everyone I talk to seems to be pulling for the Rams. I was like, until I go online where everyone's pulling for the Bengals, I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
I think people are rooting for the Bengals because they're the true underdog. It's a Cinderella story. But I think the midnight's going to strike come Super Bowl Sunday.
Burrow will be back. I feel weird saying that because they said the same thing about Dan Marino, but Burrow will be back.
This is his first full year in the NFL. Yeah. He's going to the Super Bowl. Nuts. I mean, let's think about that. Of course, he's going to go back. The team is young enough. They have no offensive line. Once they build off that offensive line, yeah, I mean, for sure, that dude's going to go back. He's going to win one day. It's just not going to be this year.
I think I told you a couple weeks ago I made my first bet online. Lost.
Oh, yeah. You said you lost.
So I did it again for the Super Bowl.
Okay. What do you take?
So I was perusing the options I had on DraftKings. And
you do any of those boosts at all?
No, I didn't know how to do that. So I was going through the options that I had. I'm in my account, I have $25. So every time I picked the thing I wanted to pick, much like my first bet I made against the Titans-Bengals, the payout was very minimal. Why am I going to bet $20 to only win $4?
What are you betting on?
It was the money line. It was this person getting a touchdown, this person throwing for X amount of yards. It didn't make any fucking sense to me. So I finally landed on the one that was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to win it, but if I do win it, it's money. Any quarterback throws for over 450 yards.
That's probably not going to happen, bro.
I will win $600.
What's the payout?
$600
on $20 bet.
Yeah. So that's the only thing that made it worthwhile for me. So I told a friend of mine who is a gambler, and he talked to me about it. He's like, bro, that's not going to happen. You're talking about elite numbers here. And he sent me a list 20 minutes later of the most passing yards in Super Bowl history. There are only two people who've thrown for over 450 yards in the Super Bowl. Only two.
Who is it?
Both named Tom Brady. So, I'm not going to win this bet. Because what are the odds of that happening? But it makes the game more fun because I'm rooting for points. I'm rooting for an offensive game.
Right. I have a parlay going on too. I have two parlays and then a one straight up. But I'll tell you my biggest parlay here.
Okay.
That I have. $37 bet. The payout is like $1,150 here.
Worth it. Okay.
So all these have to hit. Rams by 4. Cooper Kupp, anytime touchdown. Stafford, over 281.5 yards. And here's the big one. Rams defensive touchdown.
That's tough.
I chose that because I love the Rams defense.
Yeah, not out of the realm of possibility, though.
It's not, because that offensive line for Cincinnati is weak. Rams defensive line is elite. I could definitely see like a sack, strip, fumble, going for a touchdown, interception for a touchdown, even special teams touchdown. Like I could definitely see something going on here where Rams score a defensive touchdown.
Are you doing any boxes this year?
I did. I did 2 boxes. Oh shit! I told someone else.
How much was it paying?
$10 a box. I think it was low.
A coworker's boyfriend of mine has a box for $500. I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm spending $500 on a box.
No.
He did get it.
Even if I was a multimillionaire, no, like that's stupid. For a box, I'd rather take that $500 and gamble that actually
with your foolproof blackjack bet.
Oh, don't be a dick.
I'm not being a dick because I think we fucked up last time. But if we start focusing on it, we could definitely work some money.
It worked in the beginning. I just stayed too long. I overstayed my welcome.
Yeah. And we're going too long, Marcus. I'm not even sure when this show's going to post. I wanted to post it before the Super Bowl started, but now with your pre-show announcement, I might have to wait. But so who do you have for the Super Bowl? Win or lose?
Rams.
Because you think they'll win, or because you want them to win?
I mean, obviously, I'm betting money on them because I think they're going to win. I would love to see the Bengals. Okay, so here's the thing. My friend Bobby brought up a good point here. He's not going to be disappointed with the other result because the Bengals, obviously, Cinderella story, but it's hard to root against Matt Stafford, man. Matt Stafford, you want to talk about underdog story? The guy coming from Detroit Lions, the golden boy from college, never really got a fair shot. A lot of criticisms in the pros. Can't win the big one. Can't win a playoff game. Comes to the Rams. A lot to prove here.
I'm hoping for Von Miller. I want Von Miller to win again too. So
who I hope wins? I think it's going to be a great game. Who I think wins I think it's going to be the Rams. I think it's going to come down to a battle of the trenches. Yeah. Football 101 right there. And I think Rams defensive line is way superior to the Bengals offensive line. And that's how the game's going to be won.
Anyway, Marcus, let's move on. Let's wrap things up here. Where can people find you?
Yourfavoriteactor.com. That's where you can find all my social media links, all my work as an actor, in wrestling as well, commentator, manager, and Shot of Wrestling as well. You could also find Shot of Wrestling, all forms of social media at Shot of Wrestling. Guys, also make sure to please subscribe to our channels all across the board. Spotify, Podbean, Google. We're all over the place, really. Yeah. But we really appreciate if you give us a review. We really want to know what you guys think of us and what we're doing here. Any recommendations at all, what you want to hear from us. Let us know. Let me even know who you want me to interview next. I took a week or two off from interviewing people, but I want to get right back into it again. So let me know who you want to be on the show. We are the official podcast for BCW Breed Combination Wrestling. March 19th, Queen of the North 3. They're back at Ridgefield Park, New Jersey. We've been interviewing the contestants, the wrestlers, if you will, for that show. That's what I've been focusing on. But yeah, I'm open to opening the doors here, the forbidden doors, if you will, to outside of the Northeast region here.
All right, so for Mark Schwann, I've been your host at Mark Jeff Buddy. Until next week. Buddy,
hey, baby, I hear the bell ringing, hip tosses and body slams. Oh, my. And maybe you seem a bit confused. Yeah, baby, but I got you pinned. Ha, 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 ha. But I don't know what to do when I see them with that golden case. They're cashing it in. Authority all in my face. What is a man to do? Good night, everybody.